First, I just want to say thank you to all of you being here and some brief remarks of thanks to those who have helped put this together. The first one is for somebody who's not here. No matter how hard I work going door to door in 100-degree heat, she has the toughest job dealing with my 3 kids, 5, 3, and 1. And if you've ever met my 2 sons, you know that's really hard work, keeping them from destroying everything that they touch.
Hold on. He is not accepting. They're bad.
They're not bad, they're just high energy.
They're bad.
Beyond that, many members of my family are here. And where did Grandma go? Yeah, my grandmother left, but many of my family members are here. Part of the reason that I'm having an event here is I actually grew up in Oak Grove Village, and many of my family lives in Schaumburg. So I have ties to this area. I went to U of I at 18, met my wife in college, and we started a family down in Champaign. We've been there ever since. But I'd like to thank my family for being here as well. When Carol and I talked about this event, I want some candidates in the area to be there because it's more important than winning one race. Now we've got to win all of them. There are many good people running. You've heard from Dan Patlack and Representative Morrison, Ramiro Juarez, Martin Kelly is already gone. Tom's already a judge, Tom Kelly, John Lawson, Nick Provenzano, and Don Costello, and Bob Bedner, and John Lawson. So by all means, get to know them and help them with their races, because there is a lot of work to be done at every level of government to take our state back. Okay. I said thank you to you earlier, but you weren't in the room, Grandma. I'd like to thank Jack Roser. A lot of what some of the candidates said and spoke about is the need of having men and women of principle in Springfield. And whenever men and women of principle have run for office or tried to get things done in the state of Illinois, they've always found a friend in Jack Roser, who's been fighting in Illinois to improve the state for longer than, can I say longer than I've been alive?
Yeah.
Okay? All right, fair. For longer than I've been alive. So thank you for all the work you've done, your generosity in my campaign, and more importantly, the generosity you've done to candidates all over. Thank you, Jack. Adam, who's also hosting this event and helped put this together. I helped in Adam's governor's race. It was the first major campaign that I worked on. For a candidate, I've always done more issue-based campaigns because I believed in his message that he is a man of integrity and would help turn the state around. And he's shown that. Though even he didn't get the nomination for governor, he has not stopped working, doing what he can to open the books in Illinois, push good policy, and move the ball forward. Thank you, Adam. The reason I've decided to run could be really encapsulated in one particular figure, and it's $31,600. If you took the overall state debt, divided it by every man, woman, and child, we all owe $31,600. Now, that's a hefty bill for me, but more importantly, my 3 kids owe that. They're still breaking things at home, but they owe the state of Illinois $31,600 for all the decisions that have been made today. And for me, as a father, I can say, I can fix this, or I can let the problem grow and continue to grow, and let the interest compound, and they'll deal with a much farther problem, or a much bigger problem, when they grow up. And they'll be facing decisions, well, can I find a job in Illinois? Can I start my family in Illinois? I live in a college town now, where many recent graduates of U of I because of the economy, take about 2 years to find their first job. But about 75% of them don't find that job in Illinois. They leave Illinois. Now, U of I is our flagship institution. That's where, it's heavily in-state students. But they're leaving with all their talents, energies, and their creativity in creating businesses and opportunity and growing business in Illinois. They're leaving. That's also unacceptable because at some point, when my kids start their family, I'd like not to get on a plane to have to see them. So something has to be done now. One, we talked about the Obamacare rule, and one of the things in there is, okay, the Medicaid expansions can be done. One of the first things that several legislators said in Springfield and around the state, some of the interest, okay, Obamacare is legal, okay, let's start expanding Medicaid. I'm sorry, I kind of paid attention to the budget discussions. We can't afford what we have now, but we want to create more programs and more spending, more spending, and more spending. Well, common sense would dictate if you can't spend, or if you can't afford what you have, now's not the time to create more programs to do things that we don't have money for. This matters because, well, Medicaid is for people who don't have any other opportunities. Great problem. We can talk about how it's implemented. That's something that we need to, think about. But when we only pay about 18% of the cost of treating a patient under Medicaid, you've got people who don't take Medicaid patients anymore. And in the district I'm from, many doctors and hospitals just won't see them. So now we've got a program that serves the most needy, but they can't get service because, well, nobody wants to take an 80% loss on seeing somebody and only get that money 2 years late.
And the liability.
And the liability.
Tort reform.
Are you
Tort
kidding?
reform. What's that?
You could have 2,002 pages of tort reform and not 2,700 pages of Obama garbage if you had tort reform.
Yes.
'Cause that's what it did in Texas.
Mhm.
Physicians have increased there by 20%, and all these other costs have all gone down. All the hidden taxes that are not there anymore. That's why you're getting so many jobs.
Yeah, well, and I know in particular, in my particular case, my wife needed specialized care for a health condition. We couldn't find a doctor in Illinois. We had to go to Indiana, actually not too far from here, Maryville, Indiana, which is down I-80 across the Indiana border. And it was actually a very fascinating little town, because it's essentially a medical community. I mean, almost every business, there's like 3 hospitals, 50 doctors' clinics, it's just right across the Indiana border on I-80. Why would you have a community like that? Why would you have a pure medical town? Because the cost of practicing medicine is too much in Illinois. You go across I-80, you can see people and still tap into the Chicago market. We have a state that doesn't understand the simple fact that we compete with other states for jobs, businesses, and opportunity. It is more expensive to start a business in Illinois than it is anywhere else. So what's a rational person going to do? Not start a business here. One of my campaign staffers is in the process of starting a business, a chain of fitness centers. And he took a look. Okay, I could start the business in Illinois. I could start the business in Texas. He chose Texas because each year it would cost an extra $35,000 to have the same business in Illinois. After 3 years, he can create another, with the savings, he can create another store and grow his business versus just paying the extra cost of business and doing it in Illinois. We've lost a businessman, and we've lost the jobs that go along with it, and that is unacceptable. The solutions to these problems aren't particularly complicated. We know what they are. What we don't, or what we do have, is a lack of people willing to stand up for principle to say, we need to do this. Everybody wants to, say, no, we can't do this, I need my piece of the pie. That day has come and passed. We need to turn our state around. It comes down to basically 3 things. We have a state that spends too much, borrows too much, and taxes too much. And we're driving people away. And at the end of the day, as a husband and a father, I want to leave a state that's better for my children than I got. And I assume that you're all here for that same purpose. So I'd like to thank you again for your support, for you coming out. And I'm happy to take any questions if you have them. But again, I'd encourage you to get involved. I appreciate the support for my campaign. If you're willing to help phone from home, we'd love to set that up. But certainly help the other candidates in the room. There are good people running in your areas who will also help turn the state around. So, thank you.